Hey bestie! Welcome to my couch in my home and my lounge room and my martini. It's a crisp martini because I didn't have any olives. But I did have lemon. So, we have a crisp martini here. And it's delicious. Anyway, welcome to the Ship Shape channel. Well, welcome to the Bootstrap channel with the Ship Shape podcast. Now, this is my video about just making content. And the irony is not lost on me that in December of 2023, I made a video for the Ship Shape podcast channel about just making content. I was making bread in my kitchen, and I was talking about, going through the steps of making the bread, but talking about just needing to make content. I've been wanting to do a podcast style video and series for a while. The Ship Shape podcast did come about because of that. And I realized that the whole point of making bread video in my kitchen was to not fall into the trap of the perfectionism cycle and the production of these videos to make them more palatable to everybody right off the bat. The whole point that I was trying to avoid was not making content because it wasn't good enough. And I felt like it wasn't good enough. It wasn't ready, and it wasn't good enough. Like, people aren't going to like it. I didn't have the backdrop. I didn't have this. I didn't have that. Whatever. The whole point in making pizza in my kitchen in December of 2023 was to just make the content. And I spoke about that. I didn't want to fall into the perfectionism trap, and that's what that whole video was about. So here I am making it again. Like, this time it is on the Bootstrap channel. I've probably posted the pizza video, or I might post it next so that you can see what it was about. It was like baby boots from a couple of years ago. When I say baby boots, I was still 30. Just a couple of years ago boots, okay? Don't worry about it. But the whole point of that video was to not get stuck in the trap, which I immediately did. And what was crazy is at the time, MatPat had just posted, like, after I posted that video, MatPat had posted his retirement video. He's like, I'm done, I'm quitting, I'm retiring, this is me done, but there's still going to be content. And I've consumed MatPat content for a very long time. He's been on YouTube for years, right? He's one of the OG gods of YouTube, right? Now, I had something to add to the discussion. Everybody was talking about it, and I felt like MatPat gave me a bit of a gift there because I just launched this channel, and I just posted a video, and now everybody's posting about MatPat, and I have something genuine to add to the conversation. This would be great. You know, people might actually click on my videos. I might get a little traction here. It was a gift from MatPat, and yet, through the process, I realized that, yes, I do have something genuine to add to the discussion about MatPat's retirement. And I was in the car and I was going through what I wanted to say about it and basically like pretending like I was filming, just talking out loud. And it was good. It was, it made sense. It was valuable. It was genuine. I had some funny things to say about it, make it a little entertaining. I got home later that day, got set up to film, and immediately just couldn't replicate what I could in the car. And that's what set me off. That's what threw the whole thing out the window, is that I couldn't replicate it again, and then I didn't want to do it. And then here in Australia, 2024, like Australia Day of 2024, our big grocery stores, one of our big grocery stores decided that they weren't going to sell like the little plastic Australian flag, like the Australia Day merch, like all the plastic crap you take on the picnics, like all the little plastic plates with the Australian flag on it and all that sort of stuff. And people were in an uproar, and I had something valuable to say to add the discussion, and I wanted to talk about it. But again, I couldn't get that content to make sense on camera without one, fearing I was going to be cancelled. I wanted to make it entertaining, so I wanted to be funny. And usually I'm pretty funny. I can be funny, but like, because I was just thinking about it so much, it just didn't come naturally. And it just felt like I couldn't do it. And then there was another video that I kind of missed the boat on because then everybody stopped talking about it, and I still hadn't posted it, and that was it, gone. Sailed away to the horizon, and that gone. I missed that opportunity again. And then I just didn't try again, and the Ship Shape channel died. Completely died. I made one video, and the irony of that one video was that I just wanted to make content and not think about how perfect it needed to be, which is why we're here. And I'm saying the same thing again. But recently I've been watching Louis Skeppy, and I love, I did it again. Leo. Do you know how many times I've said Louis? Leo, you and I were friends in a past life, and your name was Louis. I That's what it is. That's what it is. We're friends in a past life. Your name was Louis, and that's why I continually call him Louis instead of Leo. His name is Leo Skeppy, and if you know him, you understand how fabulous he is. I love him so much. I love his content, and I love how much he just feels like bestie FaceTiming you. You know, like I'll scrolling through TikTok and he comes up and he's like, "Hey bestie, what's up? Like, this is what we do." Same with his YouTube. Like his way of doing this, his little podcast. He just sits down and chats, and that's what I've been watching that for the last couple of days, like catching up on his podcast and realizing that that's what I just needed to do. I didn't need to set up all this stuff. I didn't need to have a backdrop. His is like set up properly. It looks good, right? But he's just sitting down and he's just talking to the camera. And I realized that that's what I needed to do. And I realized also that I needed to do it on my own channel and not try and revive Shipshape. Now, this is still going to be called the Shipshape podcast, right? And it's like series, whatever. But some things have been teaching me some stuff. And one of those things is my 365 days of content on TikTok. A friend of mine is doing it as well, but he's kind of mixing up his platforms. As long as he's making a piece of content every day, he's happy. I wanted to do it on TikTok. Because I felt like if I just stay in one place, I could maintain it better. Like I didn't have to think about anything else. I could just make one TikTok video a day and be happy, and that was the challenge. I couldn't make one every single day. Things have come up, and I've missed days, but I've also put more pieces of content. Like I've done multiple videos on some days too, so I feel like I'm kind of making up for it. But what that was teaching me is to try not to be perfect. The amount of saved videos I've got in the list that I was like, oh, when I've done my makeup and I'm here, I can just do that. I forget that they exist. I save them and then I completely forget that they exist. So I've realized that if I do want to do something, I need to put it in my drafts because that's where I go to. If I don't have anything ready to go, I'll go to my drafts and scroll through it and find something that I'm like, oh, I'll just redo that. So that's where I've been saving videos and stuff like that. But I realized that if I'm trying to be perfect and I keep trying to do the most with each video and keep trying to think about, oh, well, will this get any traction? Will people actually hit the like button on this one? Will people actually engage with this? Will people, will I get like 4 likes? How many views am I going to get? If I think about the statistics, I don't make the content. So if I'm thinking about the statistics right now, I'd be worried about like my background and like the sound. Like I do have a microphone kit for filming on my phone. I'm literally filming on my phone right now, which is why you can kind of probably hear my washing machine. You can probably heard my dog ruffling around a little bit. But I have like a little microphone kit. 1, I don't know where it is, and 2, it actually makes it sound worse. Okay, like the vocal, like the holding it here or even having it like as a lapel or whatever, I haven't been able to figure it out, but it actually makes it sound worse, so it's fine. I might think about it another time depending on how this sound goes, but I've got the Z Flip 6 and it tends to record sound pretty well, but at the end of the day, I just need to make the content, and I realize the irony is that I'm making the same video that I made in December of 2023, saying I just need to make the content. I need to not get stuck in the perfectionism trap. And I did. So this time, I'm going to really try not to get stuck in the perfectionism trap. And that's what Leo Skeppy has kind of taught me. I realized, I'm like, dude, he's just sitting down and talking to his camera. I can do that too. Yeah, okay, so his background, like, is all black, and he's got the chair, and the drink, and the Jaguar scope. I get, yeah, alright, so it's there's a little bit of production value, but, that comes with time. You watch his older videos, that's not the same thing, right? Now, I keep also thinking, like, if I had done this 10 years ago, I might have been where I wanted to be. But I didn't. Now, why am I posting on this channel, like on my channel, instead of the Shipshape channel? Well, because I realized that I was hiding behind a brand. And I didn't have to. Like, I have an Instagram. I have a Twitch. I streamed on Twitch a lot as Bootstrap. But I realized that by making the Shipshape channel, I was hiding behind a brand, and I didn't need to do that. And I don't need to do that. So this is still going to be called the Shipshape podcast series, whatever. But I realized that I just didn't need to hide behind a brand. And I don't need to have the thought process of, well, if it's not me, maybe it'll be likable. Because I have this little brainworm in my head, the little anxiety gremlin that says that I'm not likable. So people won't like the content, and I'll just never get anywhere, and I'll be making this for no reason. But the thing is I like to make content. So I'm making it, 1, for me. 2, I need to stop thinking that people aren't going to like it. People either will or they won't, and that's okay. but I need to stop hiding behind brands. And I just felt like, oh, maybe like a brand is marketable. I'm not. But yes, I am. Yes, I am. I am marketable. I am also a product. And I have my TikTok, I have Instagram, I have Twitch. I'm a performer. Like, I do theatre. I perform on stage in front of audiences. I can talk to a camera very easily. It's not that I have performance anxiety, so why am I hiding behind all these brands? I don't know, and I don't need to. So the ShipShape channel will die, but the ShipShape podcast will stay alive, and it's going to stay here, and it's going to be on this channel, on the Bootstrap channel. We're going to talk about whether or not it's staying the Bootstrap channel. I've been Bootstrap for a long time, and I have been wrestling with whether or not I want to change that, because there's more stuff in the works that I'm thinking about, and I realize that you can probably hear my washing machine right now. Give me 1 second. Hang on. Give me a minute, okay? Give me a sec. Okay, that's probably not that much better, because it wasn't my washing machine. It was actually, there's a pipe just outside that door that's behind there that comes from the upstairs bathroom. And so that's probably what you're hearing. If you can hear it. If you can't, amazing. Anyways. Cheers. Cheers. Anyway. Where was I? I realized that I've been wrestling with my personal brand of Bootstrap. And I've been Bootstrap for a while. I'm going to be Boots for a long time. I don't think anyone's going to change what they call me. Like, all my friends call me Boots. Some of my colleagues call me Boots. You know, it is what it is. I've been Boots for a while now. But I've been wrestling with changing my personal branding. Now, whether I go to my name, which is Kelly. My name is Kelly, if you didn't know. I don't know if I want to be Kelly online or a different thing that I've been thinking of. And that was sort of more to do with performance. Now, in theatre, I'm still Boots. And basically where that came from is that there's a couple of Kellys in theatre, and so it was just easier for one of us to go by Kelly and the other by Kel, and I go by Kel a lot. I have no problem, but we realised that was still going to be confusing, so I said, well, a lot of people call me Boots because of my online persona. Like, I was, as a cosplayer and as a, gaming content creator, it's Bootstrap, so a lot of my friends in those worlds call me Boots. My Instagram is Bootstrap. This YouTube channel is probably still Bootstrap. And if it's not, and you're watching this in the future, then what did I change it to? comment down below if you're here from the future and it's not Bootstrap anymore. Leave me a pink heart if it's something different. And another emoji that, I don't know. Leave me a pink heart and tell me what it is now. And when you're seeing this. But yeah, so I've been wrestling with that a little bit. And the thing is that I love creating brands. I have a company called Sharkbait Studios, and it's gone through 3 different rebrandings. When I first founded Sharkbait Studios, it was called Zombie Slayer SFX, and that was because I do special effects makeup, and I specialized in zombies. It was my favorite thing to do. I love doing gory stuff. It was a lot of fun. I even had some YouTube videos of special effects makeup, and then this was in the day where nobody was doing it. Nobody was doing it. I think at the time, like, even before, I was even before, like, Bonnie Corbin, Freakmo, Glam and Gore, they hadn't even started yet when I was making videos on special effects makeup. Back in the day. And then, I sort of grew with those guys, and far more. There's loads of special effects content creators, and they've all grown and evolved over the last 15 years as well. And it's one of those things, isn't it, that, I've been around for such a long time on YouTube as a whole, and I've been making content for as long as some of these content creators that I love that have massive followings now. And I can't help but think that if I just stuck to it then, would I be where they are now? Would I be there with them? And the reality of the situation is maybe yes, maybe no. Maybe good, maybe shit. It doesn't matter, but I didn't. But Zombie Slayer SFX, I was making content then, but I also had my in-person special effects business. I was doing special effects makeup. I was sponsoring zombie walks. I sponsored pop culture conventions, and I was doing zombie extraction zones where you'd run in with laser pew pews. and there would be live zombies walking around this room, and you had to find, you know, the cure to the zombie virus before everything exploded. You know what I mean? You had to like pew, 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 all the zombies, and you know, it really fun, really cool, right? And I did the makeup for the first one, and then I actually built my own extraction zones, and they were portable, so I would go and do them. I even did like the Skate Ink and Rhyme Festival, which is very much a tattoo convention kind of thing, but it was marketed to be far bigger than that, but it was more so a tattoo convention. I went there because I have a couple of my friends, some of whom have some ink on my body, and I went to support them, and I did the extraction zone, so I did stuff like that as well. And then I realized that I was boxed in. So I rebranded to Slayer Studios because I was doing some art as well. That was still horror art, but I was doing like stone pieces. I was actually making key rings that looked like fingers, and I was making them out of prosthetic grade silicone, so they looked and felt real as well. I've still got a finger sitting up on my bookshelf somewhere. And so I rebranded so that I was more than just zombies and special effects. I wanted to do art, I wanted to do the extraction zones, I wanted to do all sorts of other stuff, and I even built a t-shirt printing business as well. Like I had the Cricut and I was doing vinyls, so I've been doing custom stickers, custom, you know, keychains, custom t-shirts, hoodies, all that sort of stuff, and I've been printing theatre shirts and hoodies for a long time now. But I rebranded to Slayer Studios because I felt like it wasn't boxing me in. More recently, in the last couple of years, I actually rebranded again to Sharkbait Studios, and that was so that, one, it fit my personal brand of the nautical kind of pirate theme that I have going on, that I've always had going on since I was like 2. I think the initial stages of my pirate obsession was a movie called He Who Laughs Last that starred Bar Linnell and friends. If you know what that is, if you've ever seen it, if you know what I'm talking about with Bar Linnell and He Who Laughs Last, please comment below, because I, for a long time, thought it was a fever dream and that I made it up. But no, I found it a few years ago on YouTube and I rewatched it, and it was like a weird experience because it almost felt like deja vu, but no, it didn't at the same time. It was like I was watching it again for the very first time. It was like deja vu, and like I'd never seen it, but yes, I did, because it was like I was actively remembering it as it went. So I was obviously like a tiny little baby when I was watching this. And then halfway through watching it, there's like pirates in it, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is where it's come from. This is where it's come. This is where it started. This is where the little pirate worm got stuck in my head and never left. My parents were like, she'll grow out of it. I'm 32. It's been 30 years, Ma. It's still a thing. A flintlock and compass, like it's my whole branding. Like there's literally a massive pirate flag on that wall. There's a pirate flag on that wall. There's a pirate flag on that wall. Literally. So it's always been a thing. So to bringing the Sharkbait Studios back to my personal brand, I mean, what am I wearing right now? Oh, Silly Goose. I thought I might have been wearing my Skull and Cross Swords hat. But no, I'm wearing the hat my friend got me for my birthday. Thanks, bestie. I love it. Silly Goose on the loose. Look at this, it's beautiful. She knows me too well. But so bringing back Sharkbait Studios to my personal brand, and it also opened things up a lot to being able to do everything, because I had my art channel, I had my t-shirt like printing, like customs channel, I had, you know, the SFX art that I never have any time for, and like the art, but the horror art version of the SFX and stuff, and you know, I don't really do as much makeup anymore, and I felt like I had all these different brands that I felt like I could just put into one and put it into Sharkbait Studios, which is what I did. So that's rebranded 3 times. And that's still a thing. I still do custom t-shirts, custom hoodies, things like that. And I really enjoy doing those. It's usually theatre shirts and hoodies, like whatever show we're doing at the time, I'll print all the shirts and hoodies for it, instead of like outsourcing it, will go through me. But yeah, so that was a rebrand that I did. And I've launched a couple different brands over the last few years. In fact, I've just launched another one, and it's called Obsea and Self. And this particular brand is a wellness brand. Now, this particular brand was built out of a procrastination hyperfixation spiral. Like most of them are, to be fair, most of them are built through a procrastination hyperfixation spiral. Like, I even have my own theatre company. Like, I write, produce, and direct my own shows through my own theatre company, which, again, I built it in a hyperfixation spiral. But that's still operating, that's still doing its thing every time when we're doing shows. We have a show coming up at the end of the year, which is actually a sequel to a show I did in 2023. It's gonna be fun. Really looking forward to producing that and directing that. It's coming up fast. But that's Salty Crew Productions. That's gone through 2 brandings. It was Salty Crew Theatre Co., but I realised I wanted to do more than theatre with Salty Crew. So Salty Crew Productions was born. I have some wonderful people helping me with that. My vice president, treasurer, and tech manager are all great theatre people and good friends and wonderful people. So they help me a lot with that, which is awesome. But for the most part, all my other brands were just run by me. And it gets very overwhelming. So why I decided to make another podcast channel, Shipshape channel, had to die. It's not coming back. It's going to be here because I realized that I need to market myself more. I built a new brand called Obsy and Self, and that's a whole wellness brand. I definitely kept falling into the trap of wanting to go too far too soon. But I think I've managed to scale myself to what is manageable. The website is built. I'm currently building a secondary full product, but the first product is built and it's ready to go. It'll actually be in the description below. You'll see the website, Obsy and Self. When you go to the website, have a little scroll, give me some feedback. But the first thing that you can get is totally for free. It's a digital product. It's called a 3-day ritual wellness reset. And it's just some journaling prompts and rituals. It's not woo-woo or anything like that. You don't have to meditate, or there's no crystals required. It's just doing something with intention. And this little 3-day reset is just to pull you back. It's to, release what you can't really control right now and just sort of let it go for even just a day. Reconnect and realign with kind of what you kind of need to be thinking about. I just finished the process, so I just did the 3-day reset and I followed the prompts each day, and it does exactly what I set out to do. It was supposed to just get you thinking about stuff and sort of let you pinpoint something. Now, you can actually journal, or you can just sit there and think about it. And then there's little rituals that you can do each day, just to, it's sort of more of a wellness thing, a bit of self-care. You don't need anything special. You don't need to be able to go anywhere. You don't need much time. I've made sure that each ritual is actually scaled depending on your accessibility to what you've got and how much time you've got. So some days I had more time than others, and yeah, it kind of snowballed into me doing more each one of those rituals. So it does exactly what it sets out to do. So if you want to get yours, it is totally for free. I built this as a digital product, so I wasn't outlaying too much. So you can just get that in the description box below. You'll go to the website, get my free kit. You'll put your email in, and we send you an email that allows you to download it just as a PDF, right there and then. So yeah. But if you do end up trying it, please come back here and comment, or DM me, tag me on TikTok, whatever. Let me know that you try it and give me some feedback on it. I'd love to tweak it and make it better, because it's a free product. So you just get to go and download it. You can print it out yourself if you'd like to, or you can just use it as a prompt. You can actually also download it and open it up with GoodNotes, Notability. I think there's a couple of Android apps you can use it with as well. So you've got an iPad and stylus. Mine's not here. You can do it digitally as well, or you can print them out and do it physically. I like doing it physically. But you also don't have to write anything down at all. You can just read the prompt and sit down and maybe talk out loud to yourself, which is sometimes what I have to do in the car, just to have a conversation with myself so I can hear it out loud, so that I don't get lost in the noise that's in my head and the spiraling and all the voices that are up there, talking about a million different things at once. But Obsy and Self, I think, has really good potential, and I'm really excited about it. I love it. I've been wanting to do something like this for a while, same as I've wanted to do a podcast for a while, and I thought, you know what, instead of trying to build this entire brand and all of the products and everything, why don't I just do a soft launch and just do it quietly and put it out there bit by bit. I've sent the reset kit to a bunch of my friends who are all getting back to me saying, how they're going with it, and it's quite positive so far. So it's really nice to have some friends that are supportive of me. But yeah. So, I mean, I don't think this video is going to be super, super long. but I just wanted to make some content. And now that I'm sort of finding myself slightly out of the trap of the perfectionism spiral that, you know, I've been in for so long, I feel like maybe now might be the time to launch my personal content brand. And no, it's not even launching, I'm just adding to it, because it's Bootstrap Online for a really long time, and like I said, that might change, but I just wanted to make some content. I just wanted to sit down and talk at the camera as if it was a real and proper podcast. But if I keep wanting to launch with a real and proper podcast, it's just not going to happen. It'll get delayed and delayed and delayed until I hit a procrastination, hyperfixation spiral again and build a podcast studio, which is not out of the realm of like possibility. I could do it. I'm a security guard, so my scheduling is kind of all over the place for the most part. So I don't always have whole days or all my evenings to dedicate to doing this stuff. And I mean, when you're working, you know, more than full time, because I do far more than full-time hours each week, when you're doing that, you know, you have to sleep sometime and I have to do everything else sometime. So, you know, it'd just be one of those things that I think I've fallen into the trap of allowing myself to rot on the couch for too long, and now I just have to do stuff. Again, the video of me making bread and like the pizza thing in the kitchen saying that I just need to make content, I wasn't ready yet, I think, to put down the perfectionism, not worry so much about the perfectionism, and just make content, which is what I'm doing now. And I have had to film this a couple of times because I realized I kind of went far off into a tangent that I wasn't willing to edit. So I've done this a couple of times. And my washing machine is now singing at me. It's a whole ass orchestra out there. It's one of them Samsungs, you know, do 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 do, you know, do 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 do, you know, it goes forever. It's like, it's not just a ding ding, okay, it's done. No. There's a conductor in there, ready, and then there's a whole anthology. It's an album that plays when the machine is ready. So because it's yelling at me that my washing is done, my towels are now clean, theoretically, I should go and tend to that and put this on YouTube. I just want to put it on YouTube. So if you're here, thank you. If you're still watching this and you have been from the start, thank you. Gorgeous human being. Gorgeous. Thank you, love. Thank you, bestie. Thanks, bestie. Here we are on, you know, we're in a pirate crew. And as the Ship Shape channel initially set out to do, it was no prejudice, no judgment, no bias, and it still is that. Like on a pirate crew, everybody was accepted. Whether you were a woman, whether you were gay, whether you had one leg, whether you had one arm, whether you had one eye, and yeah, no tongue, and Polly want to crack you. You know, it didn't matter. And that's what it is here. It doesn't matter. Everybody has a voice here, and there is no judgment, there is no bias, and there's no prejudice here, just like on a pirate ship. So, cheers! Cheers! Alright, be kind to each other. Be kind to yourself and hydrate. Don't forget to check out the Obsessing Himself website. Download your reset kit, like and subscribe. It's going to help me out a lot. And TikTok and Instagram, if you want to follow my personal content journey, is linked down in the description box below. So hopefully see you there as well. But thank you for following along. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.